I like this dual platforming. Everybody that's on YouTube, good evening. We're just waiting for Facebook to load up. Paul's going to come in on Facebook. So if you're on Facebook, we'll see you in a minute. If you're not on here, then there you go.
Yes, people.
Don't even know if it says I'm live on Facebook. Yeah. Does it say I'm live on Facebook? Yeah.
Yeah, I've had a notification, mate.
Cool. Love you. What's going on, Matthew? Everybody's coming on Facebook. I'm waiting for you, Paul, to pop up on Facebook.
I'm not even on fucking Facebook, that's why. 1 second.
Good evening, everybody on Facebook land. Just waiting on Paul to join us. It will be just a moment.
I'm on your live feed right now. Can not play video. What the fuck? No, wait, it's crashed for me a second. Can you see me again? Mate, let me just restart my phone or something because it's telling me I can't. It's because you're on that fucking stupid phone.
There's nothing wrong with my Huawei at all. There's nothing wrong with it.
You asked Donald Trump that, mate.
It's because he's buying them out, that's why, mate. He's buying them out.
No, but I was watching a program not long ago that said like them geezers were like pretty much the main source behind 5G.
See, that's the thing. Because let's be realistic. Huawei, these geezers from Huawei, whoever owns it and whatnot, they're coming in with some fucking hot shit technology. So let's see what they actually fucking do. Maria, good evening.
I'm on your live feed now.
I'm adding. It says I'm adding.
So to bring you on. I suppose I'll join.
There we go.
There we go. I've set my cameras up behind each other today. I've been real professional.
No, I like the side. I get the side and the front view. Side and the front view.
Boom. There we go.
Looks all right though. Well, good evening to everybody who's joined us on both platforms. Welcome to episode 57 of Endless Banter. Myself, Big Tom, and the man himself, Mr. Big PH. Good evening, sir. What have you had for tea? What are you vaping? What are you drinking? How's your week been? How are you? Not Huawei. How are you?
How are you? How are we?
That literally sounded like somebody from Yorkshire saying, "How are we?" How are we?
Well, mate. The updates are not working for Huawei.
Fucking hell. So how are you? How's your week been? What you vaping?
I'm vaping 12 milligram vampire vape bloodsucker on the mouth to lung, and I'm vaping Pingu creamy as fuck on the cleaner proto with a Sherman 25.
Nice. I saw you went to work today and didn't have a tube with you. What was going on? Yeah, I think it's the first time in what, 2 weeks?
You know what? Because I had to go to Land Rover this morning to take my car there to be serviced, and I was literally rushing around and whatever, got the kids in the car, drove off, and I was like, fuck, I forgot my mod. But I just needed to get to Land Rover as early as I could this morning, and when I got to Land Rover, they were like, who did you book in with? I was like, the bird with the long hair. Well, we can't find you on the system. And I was like, oh, fuck's sake, man. So I was there for about half an hour. Then like, yeah, we can service. It's not a problem. Okay, see you later. And I was like, I need a fucking car, you stupid cunt. Do you want me to fucking foot slap it down the fucking A38 back into town? So it took them another half an hour to find me a car. Then they phoned me up this evening and said, service is all done, but we haven't had time to wash it. So don't come straight away in the morning. Then they phoned me back and said, your front and back brake pads are fucked. Have a guess, right? Front brake pads. It needs discs. It's done 20,000 miles, right? It needs discs on the front. I've not got any warning light on my dash to say the brake pads are low. So it needs front pads, front discs, and rear pads. How much would you reckon?
600.
£1,100, mate.
Fuck me. 11, and you hadn't even. For 1,100 quid.
I said, you know what? Put my wheels back on, man. I'll pick it up tomorrow. I said, I've got some fucking pikey garages round, boys. So I'll do that for about fucking 400 quid. And they phoned me back and says, we'll do it for 800.
Fuck. See, that's a joke. That how are they going to knock 300 quid off from nowhere?
Well, I know. Last time I spoke to them and had all that drama, they give me a £2,500 credit. So I said to Tasha, what I'll do tomorrow is when I go and pick my car up and they say 800, I'll say, yeah, that's sweet. Knock it off the 2.5 grand.
Innit? And while you're there, fixate them with your fucking car. Sorry, I know that's a soft subject. I know that's a soft subject. I'm sorry. Don't hit me. Don't hit me. I got to spend 4 days with you in Germany. Don't hit me. That's it. I got to shut my fucking mouth now. Obviously, you're not flat tonight, lad. I can see that coming. They reckon what's that? They got recover. Who's that? They've got to recover 3.6 billion losses somewhere, Paul. So your 1,100 quid's one of fucking reasons.
I bet £1,100 worth of biscuits in the last 2 years, man.
That is the truth. That is the truth.
They don't even do it anymore. They tried to palm me off with custard creams this morning. I was like, whoa! I'm not in the fucking Hyundai garage, mate.
Do you want me to tell you something about custard cream biscuits? Do you know what that means up north when you give somebody a custard cream biscuit or offer them custard cream biscuits? It means fuck off. It means get out. Fuck, they're called fuck off biscuits. They are called fuck off biscuits. So if that person was Northern, they literally said, Mr. Harrison, fuck off. Here's your custard. I swear to God, they're called fuck off biscuits.
When I come and seen you at Dale's shop before, you gave me a custard creamy cheesy cake. Did I? Nah, you never offered me a fucking single biscuit. I only drove for 2.5 hours to come and see you.
Fuck off, biscuit.
Do you want a cup of coffee? And I was like, yeah, sweet, mate. That's £1.75, please. Well, you know.
He makes me sound so horrible. I'm not that horrible. I like him really. Yeah, fuck off biscuits. If anybody doesn't know about fuck off biscuits, get some custard creams in, and when someone comes out, like your mother-in-law or something, and at fucking custard creams, and she should know it means fuck off. So they'll take one, dip it in the fucking drink, and they'll get off it next 10 minutes. I'm telling you, it's true as well. It's fucking true. Fuck off biscuits.
There's people in York who'd be fucking grateful of a custard creamy cheeky twat.
I'm gonna pack them. I'm gonna get a pack of custard creams and put them in my suitcase, just in case. Here, Tom, fuck off. So, what have you had for tea? Come on, mate. Even if I don't know what you've had for tea, don't tell me you haven't had anything.
A pie, mash. Can you hear that fucking tumble dryer now?
Yeah, you can hear tumble dryer here. Only a few times. You've got fucking bricks in there, isn't it? What's going on, Sam? So what have you had for tea? Mashed potato and pie?
Potato, pie and peas, mate, and then she give me some custard cream to put in.
She would never give you custard creams, you liar. She'd never give you custard cream.
I actually like custard cream, I do. I was raised on custard creams, mate.
Which ones though? There's which one though? Because there's loads in there.
Orange creams, hence orange liquid. But I like coconut creams, I like custard creams. But as a fat kid, like, I'd have to get the biscuits in and say, right, you can have 3. So I'd have 3 custard creams because in theory I'd got 6 biscuits and a bit of cream, and I was like, fucking get in, mate. And I used to think, why the fuck don't they do chocolate digestives that are double bubble, like, you know, or if there was chocolate biscuits in the tin and we were allowed to have 3 biscuits, he'd say, you can have 3, only 1 chocolate. Why the fuck's that? What was the rations on the chocolate biscuits?
I still get that now when I go to my granddad's house. My dad's dad literally brings out the biscuit tin. You get one out of it, fucking snatches the fucker off you. I'm 31-year-old. Am I not allowed a fucking biscuit? Rations the biscuits, I swear to God. My dad was like, he's always fucking done that. Always. Try get fucking Kit Kat, I'll give you one fucking stick.
Good evening, Thomas Schwartz, the vaping machine from Germany.
Yeah, fucking hell. Thomas and his fucking lungs. And not his
Mate.
dry fucking hard air.
I'm gonna try on this, mate, but this is bottom airflow. There's not a lot of juice in there.
Is Thomas? Thomas is German as well, isn't he? Thomas, are you going to be at the Hall of Fame? That's what I want to know. Is Thomas going to be at the Hall of Fame? Paul! I know that's dry as a motherfucker and you've got an edge spin.
Actually, it's not it. It's dry. It kind of looks fresh.
It does as well. Me old man would hide the bourbons. The bourbons are not even like the best. Yeah, I want to know if Thomas is going to the Hall of Fame, because if he is, I'm getting a video of him and Paul back
I
to
have
back.
asked him. I spoke to him actually. We had a decent conversation the other morning. Me and Thomas had a good old chat. We did, and he's going to try and get to the Hall of Fame because I told him I want to take a picture of him so we can post it on Mod Wars Worldwide.
I want to see you two go back to back.
Fuck off, mate. That geezer's mad. He must have a fucking 64 ml fucking juice well. No, I think, did you see one geezer doing it like that? I was like, tip your fucking mud up, mate, and watch all the hot liquid scorch your chest, smart ass.
Yeah, but did you see the geezer that did it 23 bulls?
Mate, that video is fucking funny, man. I was like, as if you took a whole day and a half to fucking make that video just for bands.
That video was fucking hilarious. If you've not seen that video, Mod Wars Worldwide, it literally is this geezer that tries to, it's like, it's not even taking the piss, it's really funny. And he changes clothes, puts a hat on, puts his hat backwards. It's literally different.
He goes, like fucking, he's literally going 13, and then 14, it's in pitch black. It's fucking dark out.
It starts fully fucking light and ends up literally like 3 o'clock in the morning. It is fucking brilliant. It's absolutely funny. Absolutely fucking brilliant. Oh, talking of fucking Mod Wars Worldwide, it's now on what? 1,300 members over?
I think so, mate. I think so.
It's the actual hype around people getting the tubes out. Does Tash want to know why your kitchen's fucking foggy as shit?
It's fucking freezing in
there. Saying it's actually really good. What has it been now? 2 weeks? It's literally
2 weeks today. 2 weeks today, mate.
What was the stats? You pulled the stats the other day, didn't you? After a week or 10 days, wasn't it? You pulled the stats.
About 50,000 impressions of some nature, comments, posts, likes, comments, etc.
Absolutely fucking. Jay Kelly, are you guys in the UK? Yes, we are, Jay, and I know you, Jay. So don't even go there like we're not in the UK.
Mate, you're talking and he's asking you in the UK. There's nowhere else in the world that's got that fucking accent.
Scrim up north. Hashtag it's Scrim up north. And you've got hashtag Brunting, and I've got hashtag Grim up north. Just got back from Edinburgh. Guess what I got? You tell us, Chris JB. You tell us what you got. Paul's just let the secret out the bag. What's he saying?
The 90s called. They want their wallpaper back to.
I'm at my mum's. He's leave me a fucking alone.
Fucking posh back in the day, weren't he, Thomas?
Telling you, this is a feature wall. This motherfuckers. Oh, lovely, Chris. Thanks, Chris. I'm here to join the Cucumber Gang. I think everybody wants to join the Cucumber Gang. I'm loving people. What does that say? Sorry. I'm loving that people ain't seen throwing clouds are popping up left, right, and centre. It is proper nostalgic. Paul, what did you put up the other day for nostalgia? Did you put up some wires the other day? And you said for nostalgic reasons, and you put up some. I think you put up a box, didn't you?
Oh, it was my Viper Shock DNA 30, mate. That's when I was flossing back then. £130 for that bad boy.
Fucking me. It's to think what sort of money was spent back then. Like, I see people.
To be fair, mate, we weren't flossing then. That was like in the first 6 months of opening the shop, and obviously the growth started, and we were putting every penny back in. And actually, Tasha bought that from Grey Hayes for me, Father's Day.
Was it the one with the screen on the bottom?
Screen on the bottom, so when you put it down on your desk, bam, screen's fucked.
Can you remember at Expo the year they were launched and fucking 4 went and got robbed? They had 4 robbed off the stand.
I weren't there. Nah, I can't remember, mate, because if I'd have seen DNA 30s loafing about, I'd have had a couple myself back in them days.
Didn't they get dropped before the Hannah as well? Because they were a 30, weren't they? And then the Hannah dropped after that, didn't they?
I think it was around the same time, but obviously the Hannah was 18650, weren't it?
Yeah.
You needed a fucking screwdriver, you bastard battery.
That's what fucked me off about it. Is the fact is that you had to have why they didn't come up with magnets on that mod was beyond me.
Listen, mate, hindsight's a wonderful thing. Hindsight's a wonderful thing.
It was literally fucking Phillips heads, wasn't it? That you had to screw in and out of that back of that.
Yeah. And if you hadn't got a screwdriver on, you're fucked. If you didn't have a Hannah Clone mod back in the day, mate, was you even a Viper?
This is true. This is true.
Shaq was obviously boarding back then. He had an authentic one. I was shotting out the clone. £85 selling them clones for. I had a fucking queue of people around the shop like it was a methadone clinic.
Yeah, but 85 quid's not that bad. What did Shaq pay? 180 quid? Fucking hell.
I'm sure I paid 130 for that, for the Viper Shark DNA 30 with the LiPo in it. And then I had a wireless charger for it that I got off Stephen Greenwood. And literally, if you left the mod charging overnight, you could fry eggs and bacon on it in the morning. It was about 6,000 degrees from fucking wireless charging. It was shocking.
Yeah, but
charge it overnight, take it off the charger at 8 o'clock, fucking run through the house with it like I've got a fucking baked potato in my hand, and then I couldn't bake it until 11 o'clock in the day. Which is lucky because the battery then only lasted about fucking 50 minutes at a push.
I remember trying to run a 0.3 on that fucking 30 watt.
Mate, I used to run. I had a Methiso. I had a Methiso on a Hannah with a 0.4 quad coil in there. So it was like quad 28 gauge, about 8 wraps of coil, 10 wraps of coil, something like that, coming at 0.4, and it chucked like a motherfucker. Like literally, I remember getting that mod, and me and Hero from Signature Tips, he had one off me. He had one of the clone ones off me back in the day before everyone got elitist like you prick. And he sent me a video on WhatsApp with a block of 0.125 build, 0.15 build, and he was like, "This is shit, mate." But obviously, none of us really understood the whole regulating thing. We didn't really. Well, I didn't understand the correlation between resistance and voltage, because I was like, mate, this is capable of pumping out 5.5 volts. That's more than a mech. The mech's only going to fucking give out 4.2. Obviously, when you're pushing the amperage, the watts goes up and all that malarkey. But then during that week, I remember building higher and getting more volts. And then I messaged him and said, mate, I've cracked this. We need to try and get about, I reckon, 0.35, 0.4. And then it used to fire then at 5.5 volts. And a Methiso quad coil, fucking 0.4 on a 30 watt, mate. Clouds for days. Competition shit. I swear to God, look, I'm talking, it was chucking like a motherfucker. Probably weren't very dense in reality when I think about it. I was going to build it. I was going to try and do an old school, because obviously in the building range, we've got up to 32 gauge canthal. So I was going to try and do an old school quad coil. The only trouble is on a V2S deck, it's fucking hard to quad it because you fucking positives one side, your negatives the other. So you'd have to quad it like put two calls above each other either side, maybe try it that way.
That's fucking mental. I seen the other day. Actually, it was today. I saw somebody building the dirt here, and someone was building spaced coils. And it's been about fucking 2-3 years since I've seen spaced coils. I was like, does it actually work? Because I don't think I've ever fucking built space coils.
Space coils.
Because obviously these days, let's be realistic. Not a lot of us still stick to round wire. I saw Dave's obviously 18 gauge that you made him do it fucking cut.
Mate, I've got an 18 gauge building somewhere. It's fucking warm as fuck. I went bigger on that. We done Dave's 3.5 mil, 18 gauge, 7 wraps. And when he put it on the hose mix, it was 0.06, man. It was lively as fuck. Bit slow to ramp up. Like you'd have your first drag. You're like, yeah, that's cool. Second drag, mate, bam, fucking hit you like a motherfucker because it takes a while to ramp up. Do you know what I mean?
Takes a while to fucking cool down and all.
On the fourth drag, you need a fucking drip tip you need a drip tip off Stephen Greenwood's pipes so you're not burning your fucking lips.
Takes 6 weeks to cool down though. Fucking putting your idea down.
Literally. Yeah, you could take 6 drags of that, put it down, take the cap off in the morning, and brand one of the kids on the forearm with you just for jokes.
Danny Taffy, I think it is Daniel Taffy says, "What's the best ohms for lower watts to get cold clouds?" Let's be realistic. Who wants cold clouds?
People do, mate. I never used to like a warm vape holding. And you know, I was talking to Stephen Hollands in chat the other day, and he was saying that like he struggles to get anything warm enough.
That's because he likes it like lava. That's why.
He's done a 10 gauge, 10 wrap. I think 20 gauge 980 in the building stacked in the dirtier stacked. And he was like, "It's all right, man." And I was like, "Are you running the slot or the 2 holes?" And he's like, "1 hole, mate." And I was like, "What?" And Ollie was running 0.3, I think, on his. And I said to Ollie, just out of interest, "Are you running the air?" And he's like, just one of the holes.
Yeah, but let's be realistic. There wasn't these boys, and Steve can say in chat because he's in chat. Were they running like that before, or were they running like that because of the tight draw of a mouth to lung?
No, you know what I think. Like, it took me ages when I first started doing cloud competitions and all that and fucking about. It took me ages to realise. And in fact, I remember Trevor Vanner was in our shop when we done the V-Juice Endless tour, and he won his first round. And I remember saying to Trevor, "Look, Trevor's a fucking unit of a man, and he's about fucking 8'4". He's got lung capacity of a fucking dump truck." So he was getting distance as fuck on them, but they were like quite fluffy. And I said to him, "Shut your air off, mate. It's about fucking half of what you've got it open." And actually then, and the other thing is, obviously when you're doing comp, if you watch Ollie Deeks do even a dirty long cloud, or Stephen Holland's style of vaping for cloud comp is completely different to Ollie's. Actually, Ollie's like fucking slow inhale, but what that makes for a really dense cloud. Stephen Holland's is running that low that he could literally just take the fucking top cap off the dirtier and just straight off the RDA. It makes for a little bit more. But actually, if you remember, what was the mixed race kid's name, mate, who won the cloud comp when we done it at Expo?
It was. Fucking hell, name's gone right out of my fucking head. I had it on my lips as well. Oh shit! It was against Richard, wasn't he? Corey,
if you remember Corey's technique for blowing clouds, that geezer was mad because it's like he literally let a whole dome of cloud come out of his mouth around his face, and then blew behind it, and it was like fucking flying across this. Like I remember Corey doing an exhale and people pointing the other way. And then by the time they realised Corey had actually blew the cunt, he'd fucking 25-footed it the other way. Do you know? They're like, "Oh, fuck me now, actually, it's that geezer there." Because he let it come out so slow and dense around him and then fucking pummeled it. But actually, if you restrict the airflow, obviously, it does make for a much, much denser cloud. But actually, I was using this the other day, the Shermans and whatever. and I wasn't that overly happy with the airflow. But I don't know what I'd done to it, or whether I just had a fucking flat battery in it or what. I mean, this has got a 5 wrap, and it's that 5-core 980 fuse clapped, and I know that
I love
jug
that.
up there's coming out around about 0.09. It's just less than the 9. And I was saying to Dave, it's actually not that rowdy. But when I put a full battery in, it's fucking chucky like a motherfucker to be fair. The airflow on the Sherman, it's fire.
Is it wide open as well?
Yeah, it's not. He's adjustable, isn't it? But yeah, I mean, to be fair, when I'm just vaping like this at home, I never ever restrict an airflow. The only time I'd ever restrict an airflow was I was trying to get a denser cloud, to be honest. I mean, this is half air now.
Yeah, right, and still chucking, yeah.
But I don't know how many people are in chat on either YouTube or on Facebook that have started using the mech again recently on the regular. Put your hands up in the air and I'll put mine straight up. How many people forget to drip the cunt? Because you're that used to fucking make the lunging, mate. I'm fucking merry away, and all of a sudden I'm like, whoa, what the fucking hell going on with that, man? I look and I literally could sell cotton.
Do you know what the best thing is? I don't need to, because I'm still shit scared of fucking dry it. So I over fucking drip. I'm literally the only person I know that is literally watching their mech after every port. Like, fuck, am I gonna get a dry hit? I'm petrified of fucking dry hits because they are the worst thing in the fucking world.
Now, you know what? On modern cotton, mate, dry hits are not the same, because actually you can vape cotton pretty much dry. You can be barely exhaling anything, and it's not like. Or the worst dry hit I ever had in my life was fucking rayon, or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, rayon. Yeah, rayon.
It's a dry hit on that. On a fucking Vapors Cloud. What was it called? The Gamma Box, the Para series.
Yeah.
I was out the game for about 7 hours, mate. It fucking ripped me off. And I remember I was in our shop when Dave the Vape used to work in the shop back in the day, and I had the fucking gold Buddha on there. In fact, I tell a lie, maybe I did have the gold Buddha for that box, actually, thinking about it, when that was, because the gold one was a limited edition one. And I remember taking about 3 or 4 drags on it. And like my last drag was just on the arse end of the fucking dry. And I says to Dave, yeah, I'll see if you can do a better cloud. Dave's got a proper greedy cunt. He's the sort of geezer when he builds a spliffy fucking top load and that's the first toke himself. Do you know what I mean? He's one of them geezers. And I fucking said to Dave, you can't fucking beat that, you cunt. And he grabbed it off me, mate. He's bent down and proper fucking, he's blew out, and hardly anything's come out the RD8 with that drum. Just a little like, and he blew out, and I was like, yes, go for that then, sunshine. And he fucking stood up. And he just went, and like a big fucking black fucking oak come out. That's what you get for being greedy. You come and always checking RDA when someone passes you a power series back.
Oh, it wasn't just dry cotton you passed though. It was always something like you accidentally maybe drop out like an 18mm tobacco in someone's fucking drip. Accidentally on purpose, just a few drops of tobacco on menthol 18mg. Like, yeah, fuck you, you prick.
What like milligram? You used to sell 22mg back then. Someone a little cheap shot of that, you liven them up.
Fucking hell. Just some of the random stuff we used to get up to, just being random and just having a laugh with it and not being so serious. It's just all this is just coming back with this group, and this group is working really well, and I'm loving it. I'm proper loving it, because it's so like just not old faces. There's new faces, and we've spoke about this, the new market and new people and whatnot. But people aren't scared to put up a video, you know. I don't know what it is.
That's what I love the most about this group, is that I've seen older people, older men, older women, younger men, younger women, people that I've never seen, and lots of people saying, I don't really know what the fuck to do. I've never done this before, but I'm going to do it, and and it's wicked, man. And more than that, it's wicked that there's not fucking 30 knobheads going, you dickhead, you don't even know how to blow a fucking cloud. Because that's where we've got to, man. And honestly, out of everything. Just like the interaction on the group's just wicked, and you see people from different companies. There's a few sore cunts in there. There always will be, mate, and they need to get over themselves. But generally, you'll see people liking other people's mods and manufacturers liking other people's mods, and just generally taking it back to before. And I've had some negative comments about like, oh, you've deleted my post because of one watermark. Yes, because next to that fucking photo in your phone is the photo without the watermark, mate. Just post that. Because actually, the amount of positive comments that have come on the group saying it's like a breath of fresh air, no advertising, no sponsorships, no fucking, yes, bro, buy this, buy that, this is mine, this is mine. You can see what mod it is.
Yeah.
If people want you to really know what mod it is, they'll do a let's see what button you're firing today post. Like I'm fucking stupid. Do you know what I mean? But just crack on with them sort of posts. Because actually, I like looking at people's buttons. I like seeing what they've got. You've got Ian Anderson from Grey Eyes who comes on looking like he works for a fucking Formula One racetrack with fucking Grey Eyes plastered all over his fucking hood in the background on his fucking mod. And he's like, 100 miles an hour here, man. He's fucking loving Lord. But you know what? It's me that he's just on there doing his thing, getting involved. My earphones fell out and everything, then doing my own. Models of that I can't see which one's from me fucking left there, which one's from me fucking right there.
You see, the thing with Ian, and I absolutely love Ian, is he's just bringing the fun back to it, playing a dickhead.
And even the geezer today that done. Did you see the purple haze video?
No.
He stuck purple haze on his t-shirt.
No.
He's just basically taking the piss out of him, but in a light-hearted way, not like fucking mugging him, man. But just the fact that people are doing that, man, taking the time. The geezer that took a day and a half to film his video just to go, yeah, I can get 20 tits out of one drip. That's what I love. People just going old school. Do you know what I mean? It's like that's what it used to be, mate. You know yourself. Even back then, look, people had their own little cliques, but more on hangouts and things like that. They were sort of away from the main social media part of it.
Yeah.
During the daytime and the evening, everyone was on there doing their thing, and then a bit later on, people might have branched off. But then the bigger it gets, and the more people you get, and when you get sponsors and fucking adverts and all that shit, you do get these fractions of people breaking off, then trying to conquer the world on their own. Where actually we can all conquer it together in the same way, and actually keep it properly enjoyable. That's what I'm loving at the moment. Is just the fact that it's just light-hearted and it's fun. Some people can't be asked to do a call back, and that's cool. Do you know what I mean? You get called out, and you don't want to don't get involved. It's not a problem. But lots and lots of people are doing fallback, and even like when you see someone fall back in 3 minutes, and you know, like, mate, I've scaled the page some days, like looking for a call out, so I can do a video, and that's where I used to be. I'll be like, oh yeah, means I've got an opportunity to do my cloud, have a bit of a banter or a laugh or whatever. And yeah, it's wicked. I love it.
Ian's been like that for ages. He is like a hobbit on a shitload of smack. I love his vibe though. That's it. As Paul's saying, it's fun. I can't help plastering. You catch me at work. I just want to get involved, like you say. And yes, I'm a crazy cunt, but that's me 100. That's
I'll give you a tip, Ian. If you turn through 180 degrees, you'll be facing the other fucking way away from the grass. I've been in the shop. I was going to go, I swear to God, the other day I was going to go in the shop. 1 second.
No worries. There you go, Adam. Love Ian Anderson. He's brilliant. He's brilliant for the group because that's what it's meant to be. It's meant to be fun. It's meant to be good vibes and craziness. And it's a character. We know Ian's not sitting around his house fucking buzzing off his tits like that. We know that. So we know it's exaggerated character, but it's fun. It's really, really fun, and people obviously loving it and getting involved with it, and that's the main thing.
Now, you know what? Honestly, I was going to say, I was at work and I was like, you know, I'm going to go to Gray's Digbeth and I'll do a fucking video in there. Yeah. I'm going to take a big dirty fucking build 'em sign and stick it over the Gray's sign, mate. Fucking sort this shit right out. And then I can't remember what happened. I had to go somewhere or got called to a meeting or whatever, and I couldn't get there. But I mean, Gray's shop's literally fucking 6 minutes from the factory. And when Shaff was working, I don't know if Shaff even works in that one anymore or whether he's always at the King's Heath one, but I used to pop up there and I'd have a chat with him and a rattle and blah blah blah. So yeah, I was going to go up there and just do my callback in grey.
So Ian, if you see Paul jumping out of his car with a big building sign, mate, he's acting. Tom, you saw me at 9 a.m. Tom, you know what I'm like 24. Yeah, you are, Cannon.
I bumped into an expo, and he's like the equivalent of drinking 4 pints of lager dead quick. You walk away and you're a bit like, what the fuck just happened, man? It's like
it is. It's just so fucking good that this is how it's meant to. I'm excited. Everybody's excited. Paul's excited. That's what it should have been and how it should have been. Let's be realistic. It shouldn't have took this group, but it has took this group, and the group is a god blessing for a lot of us to get our vibe back, our energy back. Our whole love and passion for vaping, because a lot of us did lose it, because as we've said in the past, Paul, we've said this plenty of times, we sort of accepted that Nick Salts and pods were the future, and obviously we've sort of, everyone's brought it back. It's not just been Paul, it's not just been Max, it's not just been me, it's not been just admins, it's been everybody getting involved and nobody being political and being like, fuck you and your mod. It's what it is and how it should have always been. There is no sort of chucking shit down your throat, and there is people trying it, as Paul has said. There is people trying, because I see it all the fucking time, all day long, but people don't want to see it anymore. Let's be realistic. People don't want to see it. They just want to come on that group for fun.
Yesterday I was busy from morning throughout, and I wasn't very active. I was sort of active on the page first thing in the morning, and then from then onwards I was busy all day. I was busy yesterday evening, so I didn't really get involved. I didn't even do a video on there yesterday. But one thing I noticed was when I went on there about 6 or 7 o'clock, and then I scrolled through and fucking deleted all these fucking spam, hashtag sponsor, bullshit posts. They'd actually been on there for 2-3 hours and they'd got no interaction on them. And I know as a vendor that see people promoting our products, bearing in mind they're promoting them off their own back more so than being part of a team in some senses, but they're not paid, sponsored, or we're not giving them free stuff just to take pictures off and post and stuff like that. Even when I see my own stuff getting spammed about, I've messaged them and says, calm down, man, because actually when it's pissing me off with my own product, it's going to be pissing a million other people off. There's no need for it. And actually, you don't need to do it on 60 groups. Stick to our group, your group, and one other group or whatever. Do you know what I mean? That's as much as it's needed. And the people that want the product will see it, and some people will inbox and ask questions. Some people scroll past it because they know what it is. But I've just noticed on that group generally that the ones that are there blatantly thrusting some pile of shit straight in your face and not getting much interaction, apart from off other team members, truth be told. And that's because they feel the need to like it because they should.
Yeah, people are coming by to it, innit?
Some posts on there where the picture's not particularly good, but they've had 30, 40, 50 comments on there because it started a little banter on the actual thread. And that's what I like to see, is actually the fact that, like, when I first thought about doing this, and it took 3 days after Expo to say, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to do the group and see can we do this. But the first few days I was like, not because I'm the be all and end all, but obviously if someone's active on there all the time, who's got a lot of people on their Facebook and people know who I am, then obviously that'll help it to keep moving along. Truth of it is, mate, within a few days, I'd spend 6 hours at work where I weren't on Facebook. And when I go on there, there's fucking 30 new posts, lots of interactions, firebacks, call outs, whatever, and it's doing its own thing, which is fantastic.
Definitely. It's for me, it's getting new people into it now. We've got to where we're all having a laugh and fun and everything. I think also he's interacting with new people and the learning side of things. Like, I've been planning videos all week of what we could put out wise for obviously teaching people. So we've spoke about, sorry about that, that's a 757 just going over my house. Obviously we spoke about doing videos and sort of educating a little bit more and getting people a little bit more confident and stuff like that. And I think the group itself will do that as well. Do you know what I mean? There isn't sort of that, don't post it because you've never done it before, because people are putting up cloud checks who've never done videos before and they've got the confidence to do that. It's now where we sort of get the new faces and everyone starts to mold them and teach them. And I think that's the sort of next stage of the group for me personally, is that if we get new face on there.
I mean, I'll be brutally honest here, Tom, and take it whatever way you like, because I don't give a fuck. Someone posted up yesterday. In fact, I posted up yesterday about constant contact batteries versus permanent contact switching, and actually more to see what people's. And it's not want to knock any mod. I fully get constant contact batteries because it does stop the arcing on the battery. I see a lot of people promoting mods for people that they're repping, claiming that they're hitting harder because it's permanent contact and blah blah blah. The point that I was making was, and I made this on a point on a show 2 or 3 weeks ago, that unless you've got permanent contact between the battery and the mod body, which endless mods don't have, endless mods rely on the engineering in the switch and tolerances in the switch to transfer power from the pin to the switch housing through the mod. And actually, just by having constant contact won't make the battery perform, it won't make the mod perform any better. However, it will move the arc into a new spot, and it will move. The mods will arc. There's no way if you're running a 0.1 build with that power transfer, every time you hit the switch, it's not arcing. Somewhere it has to be, and it will do. Whether it takes longer or less that time, it will definitely arc. But someone commented on there saying, if I haven't got arc marks on my battery, how do I know when they're fucked? Some prick owner from Leeds commented. Someone else commented saying, I'm going to microwave for an extra 500 mile. And actually, someone else commented on it saying, are you serious? I forgot to comment on it, but I was thinking, actually, how I mean, I know when a battery's doing, because I know that it's not lasting me fucking 40 minutes on my mod. And if you're using a tube mod at 0.1, 0.8, 0.08, 0.09, they're dying off after an hour's use, especially if you're chonging it like a motherfucker. But like, if you're using it in a regulated mod, obviously your charge times, your cycles will get quicker and quicker and quicker. But that's just a much more sensible answer than stick it in microwave for extra 500 miles.
I know the person I was answering, and we was having a bit of banter, and that's obviously me doing the banter thing. But as we've said before, and this is me, and I can put my hands up to it. If someone read that and took that serious, well, I apologise for it, but
I didn't take it serious. I mean, I didn't know the geezer that commented, but actually afterwards, I was thinking, how the fuck would you not know when your batteries are good? But the reality is, you only know if you know. It's like saying, who wants to be a millionaire? The 10 questions are all easy. But any fucking question's easy to answer if you know the answer to it.
Yeah.
You know the answer to it and I don't. You'll automatically go, if you don't know that, thick prick. But if you don't know, you just don't know. It's, you know what I mean? Just because you do know doesn't mean that you're superior. Doesn't mean I'm more superior. There's things that I learn now about vaping that actually when you analyse it and think about it, you're like, how the fuck did I not even... Mate, when I first started using a mech mod, I didn't understand what made the mech mod work. I just knew that I had to stop my battery rattling. Common sense told me that I put my RDA on first, so I didn't adjust the battery up too high and then force the positive down in my RDA. But I didn't actually get the concept of what made it work. I didn't understand the concept of if my battery wrap was ripped and juice went down the side and made a contact between the side of the battery and the side of the mod, that it would either auto fire or dead short, depending on which way you're running your battery. I didn't understand, because I didn't understand how a mech mod worked. I just knew how to use it. And obviously, experience, then you start to understand. And then I can remember looking at an AV switch and being mortified that it wasn't insulated.
Yeah.
What the fuck, man? And then thinking, oh, actually, it sits on the battery wrap. But then also thinking, if you use a nipple top battery on an AV mod, you stand a real good chance of firing that fucking battery, because the nipple is deeper than the fucking recess of the firing pin.
Yeah.
And actually, if you go onto AV's instructions, it advises you to run it nipple down, positive down, because the vents was through the switch, not through the topper. Now, as a manufacturer, I mean, as someone just using mech mods, It's easy for me to pipe up then on a fucking any thread and say, what sort of wankers fucking come up with these instructions? It's bullshit, because actually if you run a nipple top, and everyone can say, oh, you don't even get nipple top batteries anymore. I found nipple top 18 350s and 500s in the shop recently because Tash wanted some for that fucking Banter box or whatever it's called. And back in the day, mate, I used to sell nipple top 18 650s.
I've got some nipple top 650s upstairs.
That's because you're tight and you've had them since 1983.
Probably second bait first.
You know, if you bring that battery nipple top down and you clamp it up nice and tight, there's a real chance you could fire that mud. And then you've either got to unscrew the top out or unscrew the button to stop it firing. At least slacking it off a little bit, do you know what I mean? So it's not making contact. But when you do the scan code on their QR code on their box, it does advise you run positive down and use the venting through the switch housing.
But then it comes to an argument where I always be like, well, if you run it positive up, there's going to be this bass in the mech. There's not enough. There's enough room for the gases to release if it does vent on any tube.
Is it your fuck? We sold a scoundrel clone in the shop. Now the fact it was a clone was neither here nor there on this particular instance. And look, obviously, as someone that sold clones and sold lots and lots of clones, when I used to see them posts go, oh my God, do not buy a clone, it will literally blow your face off. And I'd be like, mate, shut up, bro. Fucking just fuck off. And when you get there, fuck off, all you stupid cunts, why would it blow your face off? And then the same geezer has got an authentic cherry bomb, mate. And if you fucking walk past the Greggs or walk past the swimming bath, it'll just fire on its own in your fucking pocket. Do you know what I mean? There was no rhyme or reason for that cunt going on, mate. They bought out the clone and made it better because they insulated the 510 differently.
Yeah, they did.
And then we got 4 clones. It was written on that mod, and the thing was, the bastard shouldn't have been called Cherry Bomb. It should have just been called Bomb. It was fucking bastard down. But the point that I made, what it was on the scoundrel. Obviously, it was when it curved to the top, and then you put your hybrid disc in there. It actually recessed by about 2 mil. And then when you screwed your RDA on, your RDA was slightly inset into the actual body of the mod. And this geezer was in the shop. I'd spoke to him on Facebook, and he was like, mate, have you got the scoundrel cloning yet? Are they any good? And actually, them scoundrel aluminium clones, the purple, blue, red, and black ones, they were fire clones. Like, literally, I'd got authentic scoundrels, and actually, you could take the switch out the one and put it into the other. The hybrids with the same thread. Everything on it was fucking spot on. Insulator was the same, if not slightly better on the clone. And he was saying to me, so I sent him a video of me setting mine up, and he's like, so should I screw the hybrid onto my RDA and then screw it all in? And I was like, no, screw the hybrid onto the mod and then screw the RDA on, because that way then you'll start to feel the resistance when the fucking bottom of the RDA is hitting your battery. Now this fucking joker bought the mod in the shop, went and sat in his car, set it up, screwed the hybrid onto his RDA, wanged the fucking RDA in, the pin pushed the fucking top of the battery in, which then ultimately dead shorts that battery. That's when the battery will go bang, not when you're running a 0.04 build. It's when you're dead short the cons, and actually the chemistry that's inside them batteries is designed that as it heats up slowly, it does actually degrade the battery. And I've said a few times, you run a 0.03 build, mate, and actually the battery vents because it's over amperage. It will fucking pop and fizzle. When you dead short the cons, it'll go like a fucker. And actually blew up in his car, set fire to his roof lining. He fucking nearly set fire to his pal. And I was like, I was on my way to the shop. I was literally on the way to the shop. And I was by the Swan Island. I was 2 minutes from the shop, and I got a phone call saying, you need to come down here. You just vented the mod and da-da-da. And I was like, but when I found it, I was like, mate, did you blatantly do what I told you not to do an hour ago on inbox? And he's like, yeah, it was just quicker, innit? But I understand now why you've said it. Like, you honestly tried to kill your mate just to fucking prove that I'm right or wrong. I'm not telling people this advice just to be a dickhead. Touch wood, I've never vented a battery.
I've never vented a battery either. That's
and
true.
I've run. Mate, I remember one night I was lying on my bed and I had some 19 gauge wire adapter and some 20 gauge flat wire, and I paralleled the cunts, mate. Dual coil, And literally, I remember taking a video and sending it to our group chat to the staff, going and fucking filling my bedroom up, man. It was like them mad dragon calls. Remember back in the day when people used to post them dragon calls? And I had a vape on it, and then I had to drink some cold water just to fucking cool me, mate. It was warm, mate. I mean, properly warm. And then I was like, I best put this on a fucking ohms meter, like, to see what we're fucking ohming out at. I put it on an SX, because their chipsets are pretty as close as the DNA is fucking accurate. 0.029. Right. And I was like, fucking hell, I'm not posting that for fucking UK back deals. They'll all fucking shit themselves. So, madness.
Yeah, but it's knowing what to, like Steve Holland's here saying, I have hands up, I've vented a battery. It's knowing what to do in that situation.
I reckon Steve Hollands has probably vented one this week, just getting back into the what kids go out the kitchen out of the building.
Shit's going down, get out the fucking house.
The kitchen door, it's like building in progress, please do not enter. And it's got the live light outside like it's a recording studio.
Talking of venting batteries, I'm not going to mention who it was and what the company was, but can you remember at Expo when somebody vented a fucking mod and it hit the fucking ceiling? Yeah, but the thing is, the reason I'm stating this comment is because it went round Expo like a fucking wildfire. You seen that bloke vent his battery? The information of it going round was like that. Did you see what was going on? Did you see what happened?
I was talking to Steve Hollands in chat the other day, and he literally, like, we was talking. I says to him, "Who the fuck started the rumor that HE4 was capable of 100 amp pulse?" Because I can remember that being a thing. I can remember Steve Dorrington having to use like fucking pipe benders to get his fucking coil round. And then like going, I remember him posting a picture of about 250 HE4, the yellow ones, and saying, "Oh yeah, they've done tests on them, man." And like obviously they're amp rated at 20 amps, but on a pulse they're good for up to 100 amp. So then I'm like, "Oh, means I can run 0.06 on them motherfuckers, man. We're safe here." And I said to Steve, "Who started this fucking rumor?" And he says, "I think it was like a bit of a joint effort and that, so we all convinced ourselves we were safe." But the other thing is, if you think of the batteries we've got now compared to my first battery I ever bought was not the fucking, what were the purple ones that everyone used to go, "You can't use them"?
Best.
E-Fest. Yeah, mate, I had some E-Fest that I had and they were fire, but obviously E-Fest used to rewrap, and then there was like this big, the Vapors decided all of a sudden that because some bloke had vented an E-Fest running a 0.012 build, oh, E-Fest is shit, man. You fucking shit, don't use an E-Fest. I had red E-Fests. They were 10 amperes.
10 amperes.
You don't understand how much my ass was twitching vaping 0.6. 0.6, mate, and I was fucking shaking like a shitting dog. I'd fucking phoned up Booper to make sure I got full cover. And I was like, what the fuck? I swear to God, I'd bought this mech mod off a geezer that used to wholesale. I've said this before. I had an SVD. Was it the SVD with the eye on there and fucking twizzly top? And yeah. I thought I was cool, man. I could bend my top at 90 degrees and just. And I didn't even know about lung inhaling at that point, right? So I used to like take a dirty long fucking motor lung drag, and then I'd like do this really fucking white shitty cloud. But I thought I was badass, mate. I'm not even joking. And I remember going to my man's shop with Tasha, and I walked in holding this SVD like I was a fucking geezer. And while he was talking to me, I was just like going. He pulled a castle mod out of his pocket and went, and I was like, "What just happened here, mate? What's going on?" He's like, "Talk to me about this shit, man. Talk to me." And I bought that Cronus. I bought the Cronus, and I can't even remember the name of it again now. It's gone. But yeah, I bought my first Met mod, and he was like, he gave me some of his 28 gauge Canthal because he didn't even sell it. He was like, I've got some more you can have, bro. And just like, if you've got kids in it, man, just pinch some of the cotton wool in it. And I was thinking, normal cotton wool, really? And he was like, yeah, just normal cotton wool in it from Boots. And I was like, this geezer's mad. He's like blowing clouds like he's a fucking steam engine. He's trying to, I've got to get to Boots for my vaping gear. And then I was like, and I used to buy VCT4s off him, which to be fair, are still a good battery now. They're pretty much like
VCT4s, yeah.
20S. It's that type of fucking high amperage.
In the threes that everyone buzzed off and they like discontinued them. One of the VCT3s.
I remember VCT3s, but we had the VCT4s, which were a 2000 mAh, I think. 2000 mAh, but they were like 20 or 25 amp. Decent battery, to be fair, proper decent. And I was like, I need some of the VCT4s, mate, because I know they're safe. And he's like, oh, I've only got these Red E-Fest. And I was like, fuck. And then I remember buying 2 of the Red E-Fest, the Cronus mod, this RDA. He gave me a length account for 28 gauge. By the time I got home, look, it was fucked anyway, because you only have to stare at 28 gauge. You can make it graphics and coil on its own. It's fucking shit. Look, he was like, I was like, shit, how many wraps did he say? 8 or 10 or 6? I couldn't remember. And I was like, you know what, I'll do 12 just to be on the safe. So 28 gauge, mate, on 2 mil. Then I've got to try and thread cotton balls through it, so you know how to break this shit up. So I'm trying to like throw my cotton balls at the fucking coil, hoping it'll go through the hole. By the time I caught it up, it looked like someone had took the top off my dripper and just smashed it to bits with a hammer. It was fucked. And I still pulsed it like a champ, mate. I still vaped on that motherfucker. And I swear, I was sat in my living room and I had 70-30 PG high 6 milligram liquid. And I was vaping like a boss on it, like crapper. And I was sat there, and every so often I'd forget to lung in house. You'd try and mouth to lung the cunt and choke a lung.
Steve Holland's Red E-Fest, were the worst cells in the world. They made my stainless steel pans aglow.
I can imagine he was running some naughty. I mean, I was running 0.06. I ended up phoning him up, and I was like, mate, how many wraps did you say? And he was like, don't go below 6. Do not go below 6 wraps of 28 gauge. And I was like, fuck it. But not within about a week, I was like, I remember, in fact, around that time, I remember James Burr messaging me saying, mate, I've got this wiring man called Raw Wire. They do a 22 gauge. And I was like, bro, have you got a drill? Because like, I ain't getting 22 gauge in my shit, mate. I need to fucking. And then I was like, oh, I can twist. And I remember like fucking feeding my 28 gauge through the mug of a handle and then spinning that fucker up, mate, and not making twisted. And I was like, if I do 2 lots of twisted and then twist that'll be fucking mint, man. So then I made like quad core twisted and fucking, and I remember putting it into the RDA. I've done fucking 6 wraps of it the same, but obviously it's fucking about 20 times lower in fucking ohmage than the standard 28 gauge. And I remember pulsing it and fucking burning my retinas off the fucking coils, mate. I'm like, fucking hell. Whoa. And then you feel that tiniest bit of heat in the battery. Fucking throw it straight out into the long fuck that, mate. I ain't fucking about with that shit. I'm not having it.
I remember it opening bedroom windows.
We sacrificed our faces and hands so the people of today can vape safe, right? This is the point that I was making. Is that like we learned together and we spoke to each other and we was like, mate, have you tried a fucking 3 wrap 22 gauge quad coil? It's naughty. And you're like, mate. And he's like, I think I've got a dodgy batch of batteries though, man. Every time I pulse it, my battery wraps are melting and that. Do you know what I mean? And you're like, don't fucking vape that, you mad geezer. You fucking kill yourself. But now, when I think that it always concerned me, genuinely concerned me, that like out the box vaping had taken over, and actually what he'd done was he took people's need to learn to understand what they were using.
It was easy for like me and you because obviously we knew what we were doing, but it just made everything so much easier.
At the start, I did not know what I was doing, and because I had my own shop, I didn't like to ask, more so than a noob going on there saying, all right, mate, I've just bought a mech, what should I do? And then wait at the barrage, don't be such a knobhead, don't fucking touch a mech tube. You have to be vaping since 1822. Your dad had to be a vapor and his dad had to be a vapor to use a mechanical mod because you would just literally lose your hands by the end of the week. That was the sort of shit that was about. Then I feel like we got over that. And actually, as the people that had gone through them learning curves, learnt and understood, they then started to pass the knowledge on genuinely and actually saying, bro, you don't look, even now, mate, in our shop, we will not put less than 0.2 in a mech mod for someone that's coming in there. Even if they're coming there with a 0.07 in there.
Yeah.
We used to sell 0.075 Sam Allen fuse Claptons. We did not install them in the shop. The fucking bars there, the cotton over there, there's a coiling kit over there, go and fit them in yourself, but we're not putting them in there. And to this day, we have a box of cord by the counter that are 0.4, jeweled up, 0.2, they're safe. And you know what's mad? It's mad how decent a 0.2 Cantler build is to vapor.
Ramp up's mad, in it.
It's just decent, do you know what I mean? It's not that bad. It's not, but then you'd see people going, oh, I'm running a 007. It's only 0.3 lower, and I'm like, mate, it's 30% lower. Do you know what I mean? If you go from 1.10 to 0.09, it's 10% lower. So it's not just 0.1. It is just 0.1, but it's 10% of the build.
Do you feel like we pushed it, like, without knowing? Do you feel like we very much pushed it to the limits, and then we all turned around and said, well, you shouldn't be doing that, you shouldn't be doing that, because we tried it?
I honestly feel like people like Steve and Steve Dorrington and them boys, they were pushing it because actually that's what they'd done. I sort of watched them lads from the sidelines thinking, well, if he's got one wrap of 20 gauge on there, I'll go for 5 wraps just to be on the safe side. You know what I mean? I literally sort of stood on the outside and watched them. I'll never forget fucking DJ doing his fucking mate, do you remember the one coil he done that looked like fucking electrical cable? Where he'd looked like plaited, braided shit.
But he was running, what was it, that big German he was running, wasn't he? He wasn't running the little mod, he was running a stacked? Was it stacked?
Yeah, it was stacked with his T-top. But I remember the shitstorm going around like every Facebook group at the time, going as if this geezer has to literally hold his mud with a wet damp T-towel to stop the mud sticking to his skin because he gets that hot it melts his hands. You know what I mean? That was the essence of it.
Yeah, but that German.
When I think about that, I can imagine like Steve Hollands and all them boys being in a group having a proper giggle about that, going, mate, did you see DJ's sick build? He was like, all of them open their freezer, mate. They've got racks of tea towels in the freezer. What the fuck?
The thing about that mod though, that big German had an external side fire, didn't it? And obviously that was fucking spring loaded. So every time he'd fired it, he'd fucking get electric shock.
Yeah, he was like, I'm going to try and see if I can blow my face off and taser myself all at the same time.
I remember the shitstorm kicking off because in one of his videos, when he did it, he fucking vented because he showed his bin and everything when he threw battery in bin, and it was definitely an EFS fucking 10 ampere. And I remember shitstorm because he was doing it in his little sister's bedroom and fucking got behind him and he was fucking like.
I can remember being in James's shop back in the day, and we stacked the Hades and built. I can't even remember what wire we had to build with, mate. And it was like we were like, you know what? Let's go. We might as well try 3.5 mil. But we'll try and go 3.5 mil, man. Get the ohmage up a little bit in it, and fucking about 632 wraps, and literally paused it, and the coils just went. And just fucking fell over in the RDA, mate. Literally just fell to shit. But I didn't hear when I had the quad stack dirty here, and I was trying to put a new build on it for Expo, and I was like, you know what, I want to go 18 gauge on it. I'll do like a 6 mil or a 7 mil, because obviously the one side of the deck you can get a nice single coil in there. I'll do a 6 or 7 mil. I ended up doing an 8 mil, 12 wrap, 18 gauge 980 on a quad stacked. I don't know what it owned out at because I forgot to fucking get my. Like normally, to be fair, when you've got some experience, when you pulse it, you can tell straight away.
Yeah.
Feeling to know that, well, that's a bit fucking lively, or actually that's going to. I need to take fucking 2 wraps off that, or fucking whatever. But I'd got the quad stacked, fucking 4 brand new charge batteries in there, done this naughty call that looked like the fucking spring off and Vauxhall Corsa, and I pulsed it and it just fucking puddled in the bottom of the RDA, and I was like, what the fuck, man? So I was like, I need to go. No, in fact, I might have started off with 12 mil, then I went up to 8 mil, and I was like, if I do 8 mil, same amount of wraps, I've probably increased it by about fucking 30% in length. So I got it, like, to pulse it, I literally had to go like, fuck it, I was flicking the button, mate, and it was going, it was like the fucking front of North Rider's car, mate. But fucking hell, that's a bit fucking lively. I had nothing wide enough to fucking clamp the fucking coil. Like, I couldn't even open my ceramic tweezers wide enough because they were just like fucking duck's feet on the outside edge of the coil. I got it glowing nice, fucking whipped it up with fucking 4 tampons. And I baked it, and it was the fucking hottest fucking vape I've ever had. It was horrible. It was vile. I was like, but actually, I know Steve's sitting there now, slapping his chops, going, sounds like a decent build, that doesn't make just a nice bit of warm on the lungs, mush.
What's he saying? When he vented the cells on that 0.08, he was crying. That was all obviously about DJ.
He was running 0.08 on the stacked Hades with his wet tea towel. 0.08 on stacked, mate. But I remember he's coming into our shop one day, and he bought the sleeve mod when we dropped the. It might have been, I don't know, the first one or the V2. I can't remember. And he was like, I'm going to run it in single. Can you do me a build? And in fact, it must have been the V2 because in the first one, we give the coils away, didn't we? So they come with a set of single coils. And I'd done him a build I'd done it about 0.17. And that was just because that's what it come out. I didn't do a 0.1, but I was like, you know what? I had no pre-made coils or whatever. I ended up doing him a build myself. Come out about 0.17. And like, again, if you use 0.17 on a fucking 980 and that, it's fucking still a lively build, really. You get no battery sag whatsoever, so it's hitting nice and it's responsive and whatever. I'm sat there in the shop serving and whatever, and he sat at the bar fucking about. Next thing, mate, I've seen him stacking the cunt and just screwing his RDA on. Thing's lively, and I mean proper, like it's lighting up. And then he comes over and he's like, mate, I've just pulsed this and the coils are broke. I'm like, but like, again, you know yourself, you start pulsing your coils, mate, and I'm just tapping my button. It's smoking. I can't even see any orange for the first few pulses. I'm just doing it, and then you'll start to see a little bit of movement. I'll give them a pinch, and then I'll squeeze it a bit more, and then scrub them across and pinch it a bit more. My man's like fucking screwed a 0.17 on stacked, hit the firing button, fired it for about 15 minutes, then gone, mate, my coils just broke. I was like, fucking hell, let me refund you, mate. I don't have that much in that.
Yeah, but those people, do you not feel like, because obviously a lot of people came into shops, had got the information from people in the shop, like you said, you sat down with the bloke, you built it, you then told him don't fucking stack it because it's not meant to be fucking stacked with them coils. He's gone and then done that. Do you think that aspect of vaping's gone from shops? Do you feel like people go in and just get what they want and fuck off?
I think a lot of people now over the last 2 years have employed people as retail assistants more so than vapors. Not always, there's still some good shops out there, mate. You say you go to the likes of your Evolutions and your Greys, and the people in there are mecking and they understand this shit. There's a lot of chains that have not got the knowledge in there. I'd hate to think that someone went into my shop with a mech mod and says, all right, mate, can you throw a build in this? And just one of our staff members say, sorry, I can't help you. You'll have to come back when fucking Dave's on. Anyone that works for us can do what they need to do. And we've always made sure of that because it's important to me that someone can go in there at any level and get the advice and the help they need to use whatever they've got in their hand. But true story, bloke comes into our shop, walks up to the counter and says, all right, mate, can I have a Mutation X? Can I have some fucking high VG liquid, fucking rare. Can I have a limitless mod? And he bought a whole kit. Now, normally people come up and go, right, mate, I've been looking at them tubes over there, but I'm not really sure about them. And you go, oh, they're mechanical, mate. Have you got any experience? No. How do I change the watts on them? Ultimately, by changing your coil, because it's only working off the power of the battery, blah, 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 blah. This geezer walked in like a seasoned pro, mate, bought all his shit. And then says, I'm all right to go and sit up in the vape lounge upstairs and fucking build and get this working. I was like, yeah, of course you are, mate. Any problems? And just come down. 20 minutes later, my man comes down. He's like, it's not working, mate. It's not firing. And I was like, let's have a look. And I took his top cap off, and it was just full of liquid, no coil, no cotton. Literally just full of liquid. And my man sat there with the battery in his limitless, mutation X on there, or whatever RDA it was. Fucking filling the RDA with liquid and trying to wake the motherfucker just off the post. Like, I can remember the group chat. Like, I remember sending a message out saying, mate, I went in the shop, I weren't, but I sent a message out going, mate, I've just had some mad geezer in there and that. He's like trying to vape on his Metmod. He's got no calls in his RDA. But then I was like, we've like properly failed him.
I know we shouldn't laugh. It's like I'm sitting here laughing.
It's probably better to laugh at him now, but at the time, I remember all of our staff going, "What a dickhead, man!" As if you don't know. And I was like, "We sold it to him." But then, like, I can't even remember who served him. But they says, "Listen, he walked in and asked for that stuff. It's not like he come in asking any questions. He come in like he knew his shit."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Well, then, in future, we need to say to every single person that buys a Metmod or an RDA." Have you built yourself before? Do you understand it? Do you understand how it works? Because we had people in the shop there, or every day there was someone in that shop that could say, yeah, come and sit down, mate, and we'll give you 20 minutes and I'll show you what's what. We used to do it. We used to have coiling, like Saturday mornings, 8 and 10 people upstairs, and I'd go there and we'd build some coils and we'd fuck about and we'd stick them on a mech and an RDA and learn to pulse them and strum them and wick them up and do it. And we used to do that all the time. And that can only be a good thing, mate. It can only be a good thing. And I feel like after going through that massive learning curve of us being the guinea pigs and venting batteries and fucking holding mods with wet tea towels because they're burning our hands and all that sort of fucking madness, that when you look back now, it's funny. That gave all of them people the knowledge to say to someone, mate, don't run that build like that. You don't know what you're doing. There's people out there that don't understand the hot button. Now, I've only ever had, you know what? I'm going to be lying. I can't even think of a time where I've put a build in a mod. I've used other people's mods and said to them, mate, that button's not hot because of the build. It's something getting right. You know what I mean? Because you can just tell it just heats up too fast. If I'm vaping a 0.07, I know that the heat that's there is the latent heat from the heat from the battery, the heat from the RDA transferring down the mod. But I've used some people's mods and look, what, that button gets way too hot, way too quick for my liking. Something getting right on there. Now that's just from experience, but there's lots of people that, like even Disco who works for us, he's proper parrot. Like we put that build on his at mine the other night. I got the torch out and everything, mate. We had to fucking do this shit. And when he put it, he messaged me later on the night. He's like, mate, it's 0.06. And I was like, ah, sick. And he was like, I've took it out, man. It's too fucking feisty. And I was like, I'm literally replicating the build right about now. I'm going to 4 minutes. But I can't remember what RDA I had it in. In fact, I think I had it in the black. Didn't I put it on the parallel box?
Yeah.
I had it on the parallel box in the black 24 Slammer. Now, to be fair, I might have even done 5mm cores in it. I know they were close to the edge of the deck. I mean, close to the edge of the RDA. So obviously the heat transfer from that size core is just ridiculous. So I've done 3 drags on that parallel board. The fucking third one, man, I'm literally branding my lips with the drip tip. It was getting warm, but not warm where it's not safe because it was running on a parallel mod anyway. So that automatically means I can run at 0.01 and I'm safe because it's parallel, because it's fucking quadrupled the amperage of the batteries, because that's bro science. But actually just the heat transfer into the RDA was heating everything up, but not because it weren't safe. If I stood and fired that mod, there's a massive chance you could vent the batteries. But obviously when you're running a build that low, you're not doing fucking 10-second drags on the guns.
No, not at all. And I think that's the knowledge of learning. It's still like going back to the post you stated earlier about contact, you know, what did you say? Constant contact with the battery in your tube. People on that post I still read still don't believe understand it fully, and they're supposed to be seasoned vets.
Yeah, you know what?
Some of the comments I read.
my opinion is that constant contact on a battery just relocates the arc, which ultimately just means you get better life out of your battery. And if you've got certainly if you've got like we used to put silver plated in lots of our stuff, and it weren't for any other reason than it's just easier to clean. It's just easy to clean. Do you know what I mean? Aluminium for me, I like an alley mod, but you've got to clean your alley mod, and it will oxidize fast, and it oxidizes in a way that it doesn't even look like it's oxidized, so they'll fucking die off dead quick. I like a stainless mod. The only thing I don't like about stainless, and I don't know why it happens, man, you get little cheeky fucking pisses off them, don't you?
Yeah.
Actually, in our stainless mod, we put the brass firing pin in there, and it just seemed to work a hell of a lot better than a stainless firing pin, in my opinion. It just seemed to be a bit more conductive, maybe. I don't know.
Did you ever have a set battery for comping? Did you ever separate your batteries for which ones were your comp batteries, which were your regular day-to-day battery? I remember.
To be honest, me and Steve Hollins were talking earlier on, and I said to him, I sent him a dump tank. He bought a dump tank off me, and I said, "Have you put a build in it?" He's like, "No, mate, it needs fucking cleaning." And I was like, but I'd said to him at the time, "I'll send it to you," but it literally looks like I've took a dump in it, mate. It's only had one build in it, but it's been in there for 3 years, right? So prepare for life form to start like just crawling out the airflow and but I said to him, I can remember being in the shop, and because my mud was that dirty, he's just picking up a brand new mud off the shelf and just sticking my battery in it and just sticking my deck on it and using the new top cap and the new mud. I can remember phoning the shop saying, "Lads, I'll be there in 10 minutes. Will someone call me up a V2S deck and wick it up for me?" Because my cotton was fucked and I was out and about. So I'd run in the shop, swap decks, screw on the new deck and get off. If I was going to Grey's to meet, I'd pick up fucking 6 new batteries. I'd phone the shop earlier on in the day, stick me 6 batteries on charge, so brand new batteries, so they were always brand new. And to be fair, mate, I can see from here at least 40 cells on top of the microwave. They're not in a fruit bowl, though. They're in a
bowl. What the fuck? Not in a fruit bowl.
Actually, someone I posted my fruit bowl of batteries. Everyone's like, "Whoa! Fucking hell, man! You best have good health insurance." Right, mate. That bowl is my batteries and my spare change, right?
Yeah, because I remember, because you're going back to what you were saying, is it the HE4s? Were they the yellow ones, or the HE2s that were yellow?
I think HE4s, mate, because I've got a pair in my office and they're still fucking fine now.
But because what we used to call them were one-hit fucking wonders, because everyone classed them as comp batteries. Steve Hollins and everyone.
There was a HB6 or something, weren't there? That was like
all I remember is that you mean yellow. That's all I remember. Everyone saying these yellow batteries are the shit, but they are literally a one-hit fucking wonder. And I remember everyone just fucking
running like 0.03 on that, mate. The battery's just sat there doing it like, oh, he's going to fire me in a minute. Hit the fire button once and he just goes, empties the fucking cell in one shot. HB6 or something, which was like more of a comp battery because it had a higher amperage, but it was only 1500 mark.
Something like that.
I think.
Yeah, because I remember, like Max put earlier about putting his dead bat in, and I remember people in comps used to line up 4 or 6 batteries, depending on what rounds it was. Fucking one for this round, one for that round, one for that round. I remember everyone piling through fucking batteries like that. Why are you guys talking pencils? Rick, it's fucking Riyadh. Riyadh's in the fucking chat talking his shit. Is Paul on the shitter? No, he's not.
Some parts of Birmingham, people have fucking full tiled walls, not just one row across the sink.
Flowery pattern across the foot. Mate, I've got that in my kitchen. What are you talking about? I've got it behind me. I've got it in the kitchen. Us up north, we can only afford one row of fucking tiles. Just you saying that.
Hey, I'm not saying we're always a kid we were poor, but we used to have a rubber tile behind the sink that was on a board, and then you could pick the whole board up and move them to the other sink downstairs if the washing up was in progress. No, I'm only joking. I remember my
Yellow.
dad saying to me, if I didn't wake up with a fucking hard on Christmas morning, I had fuck all to play with. And I thought, fuck, you know, mate.
Oh my god. Steve said yellow LGs were fucking shite. they were the one hit wonders. They were at one time known as the one hit wonders.
Yeah, I remember they're the ones Steve Dorrington 100% when that LG battery come out was like, yeah, they're the shit, mate. 25 hours were at just about the same sort of time. And you know what? I know that people now go, I see people now saying, don't use 25 hour in a mech. And I'm like, why not, mate?
We ran them for fucking 2.5 years.
A brand new 25 hour still performs. I've got 25 hours in my office that genuinely are probably 3 years old, but they've not had many cycles because in my office, like when I leave the office today, I literally put all my batteries on charge and I take them out of my mods. Do you know what I mean? Because I've got batteries at home, and what ends up happening is I end up like, bringing them home, putting a brand new VCT5A, and at some point over the next month, I've got 200 batteries in my office, and I'll bring them all back home again and start again. I found some 20. I posted, I had some blue 25 hours,
blue.
green. I've got some yellow HE4s, which are supposed to be 2,500 mAh, 20 amp as well. I've got some pink, which I think are HB6s, which are 1,500 mAh, but they're about 30 amperes or something. But they are quality batteries for a comp. But if you do a decent cloud together and you have to switch sides 3 times, mate, your HB6 is fucking writ off. You can't use a HB6 for fucking putting a new building either, because by the time you punched it and fucking strummed, you've killed your fucking battery.
That's exactly what it was. That fucking nostalgia. There's just fun shit. It just makes me always think about the old days and how it's just wicked, man. That we actually have these stories to tell. And I know there's people out there thinking we think we're all the shit because we've learned all this stuff, but the fact is that we did have to learn it. Nobody told us. There were not that information out there. They want fucking, do you know what I mean? Like using batteries, for example, just as simple as that. What batteries to use and what were the Browns? I remember the Browns, and they were fucking banging for regulated, but you put them nowhere near a fucking mech. And if you had them near a mech, someone would go fucking apeshit.
Yeah, but again, mate, if you're running a 2-ohm build, a 0.2 build on a fucking mech, the 30Q is perfectly acceptable. Like even now, I see seasoned vapors going, "You've got a fucking 30Q in a mech mod. You must be fucking stupid. You're gonna fucking kill it." And I'm like, you haven't even asked him what build he's running. You ain't got a clue. But then they'll say, "Oh, you've got a VCT5A. Yeah, you sweet mate." Not if you're running 0.0 fucking 2, you know. You know what I mean? There's questions to be asked before an answer should be given, in my opinion. And people are too quick to jump in there and say, "Oh, you're fucking mad. Why would you fucking run that build on there?" And I can remember when I triple stacked the first endless, and I built it for Expo, and it was a brass sleeve mod, and I used like the open cutout sleeves, and I put a few rings on there, and I had to literally make up the sleeves to fit a triple stacked, because we didn't do anything that was just standard fit for a triple stacked. And Kevin Lester bought one.
You and Kevin's that's got one.
Huh?
You and Kevin that's ever done that with them, isn't it?
Yeah. And I remember thinking, fucking hell, I went to about 0.6 on mine, 0.7. But actually, I've said I'm not really about that mad series vape. I like a nice low parallel build personally. So I put a 0.6 on mine. And then I thought the fucking half of the Expo was burning down. It was just Kevin Lester fucking about on his 0.4, on his triple stack on 0.4. And I was like, "Mate, you're mad." And he was like, "No, because da 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 da." And then he reeled off Ohm's law to me, and he's only pulling fucking 12 amps. So actually, fuck you, you prick, you don't know what you're Go for it.
Good old Kev. What's Steve saying? Steve said, yes, build as comp cells, but 2 shots and they were done. 25 hours has always been a go-to cell. There will take all sorts of abuse. VTT5 is a naughty.
Well, Stephen ordered some batteries off me, and I sent him a pair of VCT5As just to try them. And actually, what I was going to say is, in my office, I've got some blue 25 hours, I've got some green 25 hours, I've got some yellow HE4s. I've got some 30Qs for when I'm running stacked. No, only joking. I've got some 30Qs. And actually, today I used a 25R that I know is pretty new, fully charged, and then when that died on its arse and I put the next battery in, it was a brand new VCT5A fully charged. Without a doubt, VCT5A hits so much differently to a 25R. And the thing with the VCT5As as well, it actually holds you up there for much longer. But for me, 25Rs drop off pretty quick if you've got a low build on there. VCT5A does last longer and harder. But I actually love. Like, even now, I see people saying, "Oh, no, it's all about the 20S. It's all about the VAP this and that." For me, for all round down to 0.1 vaping, a VCT5A, in my opinion, for 26,000 mAh, 2600 mAh, and 25 amp or whatever they are, yeah, they're perfect. Molly's sort of doing the rounds at the moment. Outperform VCT5A.
I'm converted.
There's only so many batteries that are available out there, right? You can't increase the performance of a battery by changing the branding on the fucking wrap.
Which what EFS did at first. That was what they literally did. Just rebranded batteries. But I'm converted. I'm 21700 all day long. I've fallen for 21700.
Well, you know, like when we launched the Empress and we couldn't fit the fucking 2700 battery in it because fucking Sanyo decided not to release the 2700A, and we'd measured that and built the mod around that battery, and then we got the iJoy cells in that use big fat fucking battery wraps, and the motherfucker wouldn't go in the mod. Today, that Empress that I had on, I've done a quick 5-back-9 on Empress, and I went to put my 2700 in, and it's one of the ones that aren't machined out. So I've got a 1-of-1 Empress myself. Boom! You don't take an 18650, so I put a VCT5A in there and put the adapter in that, and yeah, it's fire. But I was like, no, why isn't there's one here that hasn't been machined back out again? Because we had to machine all the insides, and you need to take the old battery.
I think, for me personally, I think everyone's aiming towards the 21700 now. Though I absolutely love the 21700.
Yeah, and me as well. I think it's quality. But again, the thing with the 21700 is, so I didn't actually particularly like the 2700 battery. It worked really well, but it seemed quite saggy, and also it seemed to fall off. But the thing I like about the VCT5A and the thing I like about the 21700 30T is that they actually seem to hold their fucking shit together for a lot longer.
I feel like 18650 is a lot more established. Like, I don't think 2700s were given enough from people. 18650 is established.
Without a doubt, we made a 2700 mod too soon. And that was just me going, fucking hell, a new battery with this capability, fuck that, we're on it. And we done it. But actually, the Vapor weren't ready to change battery. Everyone was dubious. And to be fair, if the 2700A Sanyo battery had been launched properly and was available, that would have been a game changer right there, because that battery is phenomenal.
Yeah, because they were literally getting bought up, weren't they? Because it was when it Tesla that initially sort of used the 2700, and everyone was sort of looking at the 2700, and then obviously because we were searching for 2700s, weren't we?
Man, I offered twice the standard retail price to get 500 2700As just to have them for the mods, and they were like, we can't get them. I can only get 2700Bs, and the 2700B was 4000 mAh, but it was only fucking. I can't remember, it was 15 or 20 amp. And actually, I've run the Empress with the 2700B, and it's a bit like the 30Q scenario. As long as your build's okay and you don't take the piss with it, it's perfectly fine. But I had 2 genuine 2700As back in the day before you could get them, and they're fire. They were genuinely, and I remember being that excited that we could launch a mod that changed the game again, because actually by then mods have become much of a muchness. Providing the machinings give or take there or thereabouts, the mod's going to hit and do its job. The block Max said last night on the post, a 4.2 cell battery will do that. Whereas if you go back 5 years ago, how many people are going, mate, if you tried that mod, it's got mental voltage drop and it's shit.
Yeah,
and that's still the case with some modern mods, and I'm not going to mention them because people think I'm saying it to be sore. But there's mods out there, even current mods, that people openly have said it's shit because the switch design's shit, and actually the voltage drop's terrible on it. When I first tried the Empress with the 2700A in the prototype, I was like, that is mental. And actually, I ended up going. I used to run regularly then 0.075s. And actually, I put the 0.075 on with that 2700A, and I was like, fucking, it's too much, that is. And then I went to put, and even with the 2700, I ended up going up to 0.12 because the battery weren't as saggy. So actually, the whole thing just seemed a little bit more fiery, a bit more responsive.
Oscar Gav said, people still ain't ready to change over from 18650. Majority of the market that's new is 18650. When Fisherman Torches upgrade to 21700 will be the game changer. It should be. I'm a fisherman.
I just disagree with Gavin. I think 21700 now has become the norm across the board.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
And I'll tell you another underrated battery, 2650s. The LG 2650 is a fucking beast of a battery, man.
What's the difference in, obviously, you got the 2 mil, but what's the difference in the battery?
I feel like it's a similar discharge to a 21700, but it's slightly less mile, maybe 3000 mile. So it's like 30 milliamps with sort of VCT5A discharge. But they just seem to work really, really well. And again, they stay punchy for a long time, them batteries do.
It's what you want. If when you're using a mech, it's what you want. You want a workhorse, don't you? That is necessarily
we need a 26700. That's what we need. With some dirty, like, naughty 7000 mile and fucking 35, 40 amps.
The technology's there, though. Let's be realistic. The technology's there. It's not like it's not there. It's just, as I think to a certain point, I think Gavin's right. I think because 18650s is used in absolutely fucking everything. Power tools, vacs, laptops. It's the known battery in it.
Well, I didn't know that 18650s were inside fucking laptops until I started vaping. Who does?
until you tried to pull them out.
I've only fucking found an old laptop with 20 new batteries, mate. I've fucking folded the top bit off where it was all soldered together. I didn't know 18650s were inside fucking. I've never bought a torch with 18650s in it. I bought a torch that took big fat fucking Duracell Ds. That's not my fault. And actually, I think now most regulated mods are 21700 capable. Most Met mods are 21700 capable. It's just becoming the norm. Battery chargers are taken. The wraps are available for the batteries now. And to be fair, a 21700 30T is just a gnat bollock bigger than a 2700 iJoy. Because I tried to get the 30T into the Empress to see if it fit, and it fits how the iJoys fitted into the original one before we machined it. So it starts to go in, and I was like, yes! And then it stops, and I was like, motherfucker. So I can run it, but I have to set the wrap off, and I know that's going to make people shit themselves.
It's with the 21700, and as Gavin's saying, and everyone's saying, sort of 18650 is the thing. I think if we want to, because we've always pushed for better batteries, better battery technologies being the main biggest push in vaping. Where the fuck are these batteries? If we're trying to push it and push it and push it, where is the technology going? And if people don't seem to take a shine to the battery, I feel like the 2700, because of the availability, people were like, nah, I don't like them. But because the 21700 is obviously available and it is a lot better, I think people are taking to it. And I think that's where, if you're big companies, your big mod company, not talking like Endless and all the different mod makers, I mean like your Smocks, your Kanga, your big companies turn around and go, fuck it.
They're all dropping 21700s, every one of them.
That's the thing.
I mean, as you say now, it's going to take a lot for the trendsetters to change the 18650. It's not. It's going to take. I honestly believe that this resurgence of mech use will also go hand in glove with people converting to 21700s, because as people now over the next few months start buying new products, most of it's 21700 compatible. For you to buy a mod that's got that compatibility and not try the 21700 cell, I'll tell you now on LiveFeed, you're stupid.
Yeah.
Because a 21700 30T hits better than any 18650 that's available on the market, and it will last you twice as long, and it will hold its power for a lot longer. And once people start using them, switch designs have been. I mean, our 21700 dirtier is only a gnat's bollock longer than the old 26650. So 650 series is only a gnat's bollock shorter than the 700 series. And that's because we've changed the switch design. So actually, you're not having to have these big, long, massive fucking mods. I actually think the dirtier in 21700 single looks fucking sick. I love that. I love the look of that mod, but I used to like my old dirty in single.
I love the curvature. I think the curvature is mint what you did on it. And I've not run it in stacked. I've not run it in 18650 since the day I got it. I've run it in 21700s and I love it. I absolutely love 21700s. I think it's the battery. I'm not going to go as far as saying it's the battery of the future because they may come with something else. But I feel like at this moment in time, if you haven't tried a 21700, I feel like you're missing out, especially with mechs. And if people are going to go forward in the resurgence of the mechs, 21700 is going to be the thing. 100, and I'm going to speak to
you. 8,000 mAh, 60 amp. Remember Trustfire?
I remember when Trustfire, and it was Fast Tech, released Trustfire battery wraps. And loads of people bought Trustfire battery wraps and ran them on fucking VC4s. And they were like, as if you're running fucking Trustfire.
Yeah. You know what? I love the old clear battery wrap. Look, at a vape meeting that, and everyone's like, whoa, don't put that in there, mate. You fucking got no wrap on your fucking back. Nah, it's all right, man. I've been using those for months.
I'm sure I've still got a clear wrap upstairs. I'm sure I have.
You have? I have one of your batteries with a
clears. I'm sure. But that once again, and it's we're saying about obviously people not knowing, but for us lot, that was fun because it was just meant to be a bit of banter, a bit of joke behind it. And then I think it's fucking hilarious. But then on the other side, I'm thinking, what did people used to fucking think about us? What the fuck did people think? Have you seen Paul with his fucking no battery wrap on his mod? Mad fucker, as if he's running no insulator, no fuck all.
These are competitive compared to when. Now, mate, I mean, to be fair, I honestly believe as well now that actually most retailers aren't about making money on the battery. Like, I can't remember what we sell a 30T for. It might be $7.99. I can't remember what I told you to put them on the website for.
I think there was
I'm making next to nothing on that battery, genuinely. I can remember selling red E-Fest 10 amps for a tenner. Back in, I'm talking 6-7 years ago, like £10 a battery.
I remember when
selling BCP board, £14 a battery, mate. And
they'd sell as well.
Yeah, people bought them.
I remember when 650 Ego batteries were 25 quid. That's the thing. That is the big thing. I think batteries is consumable. It's people will rotate batteries. You get obviously people who don't fucking change the batteries, but usually you get in 6 months to I'd say 6 month cycle buying a new set of batteries. But they are a consumer. People need them. People are gonna use them. People are gonna try new batteries, and that for me personally is one of the best things is being able to try different batteries. And as you say, you're not making a fucking penny really off them because it's just where the market is. A lot of regulars.
We're talking 5 mil. We're talking 5 mil on the length of the battery. It's not like it's fucking a foot and a half longer. And actually, there's lots of 21700 mechs in particular that are shorter than old 18650 mechs. There's lots of regulated 21700 mechs that are the same size as an 18650 mech. Because the chipsets have changed differently, the way the 510 works has changed. So they've managed to incorporate that extra 5 mil just into the body of the mod. So it doesn't need to be, like I said, our dirtier in 21700 is about a mil and a half longer than the 26650 dirty, because we took the extra 5 mil out of the switch.
I say I'd be saying there, it's when big companies come and turn around and say we're going to use a 21700 and that's where we're going. I feel like everyone will go there.
Now, by this time next year, 21700 will be the norm, and I'd imagine that sometime over this year we'll start to see a 26700, start to see an 18700, a 22700 maybe, a 23700. I don't know. They'll start fucking about with it.
Whatever size battery is commonplace in common life will be the next battery in the industry. Samsung next up to all 21/7 mass produced wide from supplier. It's not massive. No, it's not. And Paul's saying it's not a massive difference. And I still don't feel that it has to take a big industry to do it, to use that battery. It takes, for me personally, a big player in the vaping industry for that battery then to be. It's not about the battery being ready, available. It's not the factors that people are using it worldwide in different devices. It's the factors that it becomes a norm in vaping. People are steering away from 18650s because 21700 is now the norm. And you're only going to get that norm when somebody of that size of smock turns around and goes, you know what, guys, 21700 mod out next.
And that's what I'm saying. That's a lot of the regulated mods that are coming through are 21700, 21700 compatible as well. It's coming DW 21700. And it looks fucking fire as well, because me and Max were talking earlier and he showed me a sneaky picture of his mod and it looks sick.
Yeah, that I'm just saying there. I'm not saying, yeah, exactly. It's got to be the regulated market. As soon as they turn around and say,
what I'm saying is, most of the new regs that are coming out are 21700 compatible.
And that will mean that everything will check. People will start to buy.
Mate, one thing that I noticed generally in vaping was that when it comes to things like batteries and chargers and stuff like that, no matter how much money people spend on mods, they seem to scrimp on them other things. And if you've got a fruit bowl full of 18650s, to then convert over to 21700 can be an expensive game. And even if the batteries are £8 each and you decide you need 5 pairs, two lots, 5 lots of 2, it's fucking still an £80 spend. Then there's people out there that go, fuck that, man, I ain't spending £80 on batteries. I can buy a new mech for that, or I can buy a new this for that, or a new RDA, or I can buy some juice or whatever. Ultimately, as people start to buy a couple of pair of 21700s and 21700s, once they've used them, I'll guarantee they won't go back to 18650.
Yeah, serious.
Even if that means buying a new regulated mod that's 21700 compatible, that is the way that this will go, because the batteries are just outperform anything that's out there on the market. It makes sense to do that.
Because one person does it, the trend will follow. It's that simple, because then people get used to using that battery. And it's not like everyone's standard fucking Nikkor charger doesn't take 21700, because it does. You don't have to buy an extra charger. In fact, it's literally just the battery. And as soon as the big boys turn around and go, we'll wash the 18650s, 21700 is the thing, everyone's going to have to do it, because that is simply what will have to change. And it's not just the fact is that it's doing it because somebody else has turned around and gone, we're changing it because it's actually better. So we're better in your vaping experience rather than just going, here's 21700s, fuck yourself, get off.
You know what, it's mad, look. Ollie went down to the shop on Sunday and got a dirtier. And then we were talking after he got it back. And to be fair, Ollie messaged me and he said, genuinely says, mate, I'm really impressed with this stuff. The quality of it, whatever. And then he was like, 21700s, what's the crack? And I was like, fire. And actually, he'd done it the day before. We'd done a call out with his soy with a 0.15 build in there. And I said to him, do that same build, 0.15 on the 21700. And at 0.15 on the 21700, you're not sagging shit on that.
No.
You know what I mean? It's fucking fire. It's just responsive. It's doing what it needs to do. And he messaged me back saying, these are fire. Steve Hollands, when I spoke to him, he said, I've not tried the VCT5A. And I said, I'll send you a pair with your order. Try them and let me know what you think. He's commenting here tonight saying they're fucking wicked. And they're boys that have used all this stuff in the past, but actually, at the time where the technology changed, they're no longer using it. For them to come back in and see a marked improvement in sort of the consumable part of our devices proves that we are still advancing forwards. And ultimately, and I mean, I said this 3 years ago, when you've ironed out the shit machining of the mech mod, within reason, most mech mods hit the same. I don't care whether it's constant contact, battery to the mod to the battery, switch to the fucking mod body. Generally, they're hitting the same. I can remember Benny off scale was sitting there with his scale firing for 15 seconds. And I remember doing exactly the same with an endless. And the only time it stops producing vapour is when all the fucking liquid on the coil's going to come off.
Yeah.
It's not like I don't know what that was supposed to be proving personally. I honestly don't know. But now it's down to most improvements that we're going to see is down to battery.
100%, and we've been begging for it. It's not like we haven't been begging for it as vapors. Just going back to what Addy's saying, exactly, the trendsetters need to do it. We are the trendsetters. As vapors, we are the trendsetters. Everyone that has been in this industry is a trendsetter because we've been the guinea pigs. People have followed on and followed on and followed on from the guinea pigs. That we are literally using this new battery, showing that this battery is compatible. The big boys then go, all these fuckers are using all 21700s. Then we are the trendsetters. As a vapor, you are a trendsetter. Regardless of if you are the biggest name, the lowest name, whatever you are in vaping, when people start using it in masses, they see that and they jump on it. Look at squonking, for example. Squonking wasn't a thing. It was the tiniest little thing. They saw it, jumped on it, it went massive. Now it's slowed down again. It's just they see us vapors doing this and then they see an opportunity to make money off it. And 21700 is the next money maker for big companies that will release a regulated mod. We are the trendsetters. Remember that. We started all this. Us as vapors, companies followed because us vapors tried doing different builds, tried running this. We all fucking was the first modders. As Paul's saying, he didn't release a fucking trip stack, but his trip stack was made. And then people see that going on, and then it moves on, and people see that and move it forward.
Mate, when we launched Endless out of the box with the stack section, I can remember trying to say to me, Mr. Paul, we can't make this one fucking very dangerous. I was like, listen, just make what I'm fucking asking you to make, will you, mate? Because they have not got no clue about Ohm's law. They don't understand the fucking difference between what the battery's giving out and what the fucking core's receiving, and what the ohmage of that core will make difference to the battery. And they ain't got a clue.
I've seen some of them building fucking coils to show you it works.
Mate, the thing with me, they've literally sent me a picture of a stack mod with the fucking rope-piece looking coil in just to show me that it's glowing. I'm like, whoa, put that down, you cunt, man. You fucking blow the fucking factory up.
It's mad. And then once again, it gets to the fact that people don't realise we were the guinea pigs. We still are the guinea pigs. We've discussed it last week. We're talking about we are the guinea pigs for big tobacco to come in. We've run this industry. It's been, they say, mums and pop shops that have literally run this industry to where it is now. And we are the trendsetters. We are the people that have innovated in this industry. It's not
What's available when we dropped Endless?
Probably that fucking big Bertie giant from Germany, but that wasn't massive release. That wasn't a general release like the Endless.
In 18 months of that, every single stream manufacturer had a stack section.
Stack section, yeah.
Max hasn't done that. Max just dropped a full stacked mod.
Yeah.
But every single mainstream manufacturer around the world started stacking mix as a norm, or giving the people the option to single or stack it.
Yeah. And then when it was put into a kit by yourself, that's when the game changed.
I mean, people have said to me, oh, yeah, you could get when we dropped our kit, there was no such thing as a stackable from Ava. They didn't produce it, they didn't make it.
I don't even think, I think it was because I'm sure that was a third market product that somebody released and then AV then released it.
Probably because that's what AV did. But I mean, I don't know.
Because they did a lot of their stuff off Comp Life stuff. Do you know what I mean? A lot of their stuff was third market stuff, wasn't it? So to actually have a stack in as a kit, obviously you started that. 100%.
I don't know. I think we did. I don't know. I mean, someone might prove me wrong and say no, there was this stack. I mean, someone did say before now there was such and such came as a kit, which I've never heard of. But I can honestly say when I'd done that, even in fact, when we first started looking at that, even the Vapors Cloud stack wasn't a thing when we first started looking at it. They bought out theirs, didn't they? That was a one-piece stack.
It was a one-piece, yeah. It was the VCM one.
The VCM has a stacked mod that was just sold.
Just a one-piece, yeah.
That's a single.
Yeah, it's just a one-piece.
The point I'm making is for everyone that says at the time, fucking stack mod, really? You fucking mad? It didn't take long for everyone to go, we need to make our mod stacked.
Yeah.
Or at least give it the option to stack it.
That's it. But then, as I've said, that that set precedent for everybody else to do it. So it only takes one person.
That's the way of the world, mate. I mean, literally, I see people saying, "Oh, you've copied such and such," or "Oh, that switch is like this or that." Ultimately, the whole world is based on innovation, and that innovation comes from other people's innovation, because someone can come up with what they believe to be the best switch design in the world is, and I might look at it and go, "That is so close to being perfect," and use that design with just a tiny little slant of something different on there, which I believe makes it better. Now, that is the same with cars, it's the same with fucking washing machines, it's the same with tumble dryers, it's the same with hair dryers. How many people now sell a bladeless fucking fan? They've all copied Dyson, because actually the concept behind it's fucking clever as shit. But it's not necessarily, I mean, there's people out there that clone it, completely just clone the Dyson. But I mean, the technology is there to be taken advantage of, but in whatever walk of life it is. Someone starts putting cool in a liquid and everyone's going, "Fuck me, that's a nice cold vape." Before you know it, every single manufacturer's got cool in there.
Yep.
Does that mean the first person to do a nick shot? No one else should have copied them. Do you know what I mean? It's just evolution is what it is. And that's basically what makes the world spin round. In any walk of life, that's what happens. You see an idea and you try and make it a little bit better, or you make it more user friendly for you, or you see the flaws. But literally, you know yourself, mate, I had a huge limitless collection. Probably the biggest in the UK by a fucking country mile.
The biggest.
Now, I didn't make Endless to copy Limitless. I made Endless to be better than Limitless for my own personal reasons. I'm not claiming that it's better than Limitless. Limitless had their market. We had our market. I made it to bridge gaps that I felt Limitless gave me restrictions on.
Yeah.
Such as being able to stack them up, such as being able to stick a brass button and a brass top hat on an aluminium body and not see it behind the sleeve, but it looks like a brass mod. If I wanted a brass Limitless, I had to buy a brass Limitless mod. If I wanted a fucking silver plated one, I had to buy a silver plated mod. If I wanted the black chrome, I had to buy the black chrome, and like a dickhead, I did buy all of them. I had every one of them that they ever made. But actually, when I've done Endless, I was a bit like, why the fuck do I have to buy the whole mod when I can just buy a switch and a top cap? And actually, it was that born the idea of, I literally started off this whole concept of Endless was I wanted a stack section making for my own Limitless and a one-piece sleeve. And we couldn't stack it from the switch end because there weren't enough meat on the bone. The way the switch configuration was, there weren't enough meat on the bone to put a stack section in the bottom and then put the switch on the bottom of that. And I was like, if the top hat come off, there's definitely enough room.
Yeah, definitely.
And then that just progressed, and then I ended up having, in essence, a stacked mod. And Endless was born from that, literally. But that weren't me chasing Limitless's design and Limitless's I loved all the idea behind Limitless, because actually it was something me and Hero at Signature Tips spoke about 3 years before. That was something where interchangeability was definitely capturing people's imagination. Okay. It just didn't give me enough options. And I believe that I wanted. And when we launched the very first kit, it had a 510, it had a hybrid, it was single, it was stacked.
I didn't want to call it options.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was going to call the company, was just options. And I said to Tash, I had 3 names. It might have even been Options was one of them. Endless was one of them. It might have been Choices, but Choices at the time was a hot chocolate or something, weren't it? But it was like literally that. It was more about giving people the option. And actually, when I think about it, we completely lost our way with that changeability because we went to the clean, the cleaner, the dirty, the Empress. None of them, they are what they are. Yeah, you can buy one of our top caps and stick it on the deck because the deck's all the same. Then what I'll do for this year is I'm going back to basics, and I'm going back to sleeve, and I'm going back to something where people can just buy something cheap and completely change the look of the mod. And that's where we started off, and I think that's where we should go back to, and that's what my plan is. And I'm genuinely thinking about dropping the dirtier with a sleeve option on it as well, so you can actually have a sleeve on the dirtier and mix it up a bit and change colours and stuff. And we'll see how it goes, mate.
That's where everything originates from, though, doesn't it? Like, we even know down to sub tank, you could get sub tank fucking different colours O-rings to make your tank look different. You know, a lot of the starting things were just being able to have your own twist on your device and be different.
Yeah.
Well, we've had a nice chat, nostalgic chat. I'm just waiting for Facebook to load so I can do status of the week because I've tried to load it for the last fucking hour. So I can read status of the week. So bear with me a moment.
The Bateman on YouTube's asked, how would you compare a 21,700 to a 26,650 on the dirt? Yeah. To be honest, the 26,650 is fantastic for longevity of life, but it is a very, very saggy battery because it's got a huge amount of internal resistance. So personally, the best 650 cell in a dirtier is the 2650 because it's punchy and it's got decent mark. But the 21,700 without a doubt outperforms 26,650 by a long way.
Have you read what Gav's just put?
On Facebook or
Yeah, Facebook.
moving the goalpost. I've been sat here waiting for a new fucking show. Now he's banging on the screws again.
He's a twat.
Yeah, I mean, Gavin is more than welcome to fucking forward me about fucking 70 grand, and I'll make him as many tanks as he fucking likes, a mad geezer. Listen, the Sherman stuff is in the pipeline, and the Asylum stuff will be dropping. We will have Asylum stuff here by Expert.
That's naughty, that.
Versus between them, we've just finished testing them. And that's ultimately what it's about. I mean, even if you look at 18650, it ultimately comes down to how low you're building and how long you want the battery to last. All them factors across all the ranges. Now, for me, the 21700 is the best all-round battery on the market at the moment because it's got punchiness and it's got longevity of love. So on that basis, for me, it's just a better all-round cell.
I'm trying to do status of the week over here and it's just not happening. So just bear with me. Yeah, I don't think you've done many statuses this week, have you?
I ain't got a clue, mate. I never ever put one up just for you to pick it out.
This is the thing. There should be a status on a Wednesday morning ready for status of the week. You've just done live feeds all week. You haven't done the only status that's willing of a status of the week is the Game of Thrones one because so many people were fucking butthurt. So many people were butthurt.
You know what's funny? When grown men are going, I've just deleted 17 family members because they've put fucking spoilers out and getting all fucking proper angry in that. And I think I wish I'd have watched it just to post spoilers. Just to
just to spoil it. I reckon you should. Right, well, we're out of here. We possibly may have a guest next week, but we'll keep you updated on a guest. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. If you haven't joined Mod Wars Worldwide, make sure you go over there and join the group, and we'll see you next week. Peace out.